Wells.
They think that Pittman and Slim J are going to be pushovers. They're in for a rude shock. And G-Rated in recent weeks have seen quite a lot of rude shocks. I think this week they're going to see another one on NWA Wildside.
Speaking of rude shocks, walking around the backstage area, I've been told we cannot announce this, but there are some people backstage we have not seen here before, and that you are probably familiar with from television, namely National Cable.
National Cable?
I would venture a guess to say that rumors may be true, but gang, hang on. We could be in for some big surprises.
Oh, my ulcer can't take any more surprises.
You have an ulcer?
I'm working on one. Kid Cool! Dropping a headlock of Slim J. Slim J's having none of that. Swift kick to the belly of Kid Cool. Cool ducks a clothesline, ducked the second one from Slim J. Attempted a hip toss. That didn't work. One counter after another. A drop kick that hit the mark, pun intended. Big arm drag. Kid Cool hits the ground. Two guys never kind of have one counter after another.
That's how well they know each other in and out of the ring, certainly being trained together. They've spent many hours in the ring. Now they are facing each other as opponents. It's a whole different ball game this time around.
And also, too, the game changes entirely when you're in an arena. Here, the NCW arena, chock full of people, plus the cameras are rolling, plus you have commentators, obviously you and me, Jeremy. Those kind of things and all these bright lights here at the NCW arena can do strange things to these athletes.
Well, they certainly can, and certainly they're going to bring out all these elements. You're going to bring out the best of these four athletes.
They can also bring out the worst if you're not capable, or not careful.
You must be referring to Jeff G. Bailey.
I'm always referring to Jeff G. Bailey. Incredible counter from Mike Pittman, dropping Kid Cool virtually on his head. Happily, there's nothing in there, so no loss. Kid Ecstasy in to break up the pin. Pittman showing a little bit of frustration. He needs to pay more attention to Kid Cool and not Kid Ecstasy. A lot of kids involved here.
Well, certainly these four athletes. Oh, big right to the forehead, and a drop kick to follow.
Let's see, Kid Cool jumping over the top rope, taking the neck of Mike Pittman along with him. Kid Ecstasy way over the top onto the prone body of Pittman. Still not enough for that pin. And the team of G-Rated are having their hands full with both Slim J and Mike Pittman this week on NWA Wild.
Certainly so many great affiliates, so many great stations along the NCW television network.
I was wondering when you were going to do that, Jeremy.
Wow, certainly Savannah, Tallahassee, Columbus, Georgia, all are great stations along the line. Louisville, Albany, New York, Dayton, Las Vegas, Nevada. Hello. So glad you're watching us
When you
on
think
UPN 25.
Exactly, when you're thinking of the capital of wrestling, you got to think Wichita, Kansas, who watches every week on Channel 65. KCTU.
I spent a week one night in Wichita. And, of course, big hello to everybody in Chicago and Philadelphia. And let's not forget Dallas, Minneapolis, Orlando, Baltimore. Thank you for being part of our television broadcast.
Whoa, brain buster from Slim J on Kid Ecstasy. Kid Ecstasy ain't doing too good right now. A big leg drop. No one does it better. Well, let's say that. Slim is still not able to get Kid Ecstasy down for that elusive 1, 2, 3. We're talking about four exceedingly evenly matched people here in this ring. And the frustration level is beginning to show, I think, a little on both sides.
Absolutely. Certainly these four know what's at stake here and know that there are so many people watching this that have a considerable amount of decision-making power. Oh, look at that.
And obviously both these tag teams want to move up in the tag team rankings and perhaps get a shot at that Wildside Tag Team title, which is obviously a big step along the way to the NWA World Tag Team title, as you certainly know. And of course, as we begin here today, the Wildside Tag Team title. The reason I'm saying that is that the title seems to be changing week after week. However, total destruction of all tag teams. Rusty Riddle and Sean Royal are the present-day Wildside Tag Team champions. And I don't think Slim J will be seeing that tag team title anytime soon if he keeps this up.
The competition is so fierce, you're right. Total Destruction recently victorious. Wait a minute, that's 2.5. Victorious, winning the NWA Wildside Tag Team titles. And certainly now, with those two individuals holding the belts. I really see a lot of competition heating up. Certainly there are going to be a lot of people gunning for him. As crazy as that may sound, these two are just absolutely out of control individuals and certainly dangerous in the ring.
It certainly is, exactly. I don't know if they're more danger when they're sober or when they're drunk, but they're always drunk, so I don't know how they.
I didn't know they drank until I met him one time and he was sober. Talking about Rusty Riddle.
Oh, they must have been an evil twin. Rusty Riddle sober. I kid those guys. I actually like them very much. And at this, I mean, we talk about the predilection for enjoying the ginger soda, so to speak, but there's no denying the fact they're two of the most dangerous guys to ever come down the pike. We're talking about two guys who've been down the horn, Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling and the old NWA in the early 90s. Sean Royal forming one half of the New Breed with Chris Champion, and pretty much set the goal for tag team wrestling in the next century. And this was in the 20th century when they were doing that.
Absolutely.
And Rusty Riddle, a journeyman wrestler who has turned it up 100-fold since joining the ranks here at Wildside. Together, they are total destruction, and they are the Wildside Tag Team Champions.
Those two gentlemen like their choice of beverages. Rusty Riddle one time cut himself, and out came Strohs. I've never seen that before.
I thought he was, of course, like that. Well, go figure. Slim J now actually trying their best. Oh, super kick right on the chin of Slim J. I tell you, G-rated. Their program that they have planned here this evening is working.
What is that?
I don't. Looks like a muscular disorder.
I believe that was some old school breakdancing. Kid Ecstasy.
Last time I did that, I needed some penicillin.
That's not what the penicillin was for. Big right to the right thigh.
Thank you, Dr. Borash. Looks like that Mike Pittman is showing more than a little frustration in his corner as Slim J is getting it handed to him by G-Rated. Yeah, G-Rated are a pair of pompous fools, no doubt. But the end result, they're getting a lot of work done on poor Slim J, who despite his diminutive size is actually quite a gifted guy. But G-Rated, man, they're on the same page here this evening.
Oh, they certainly are all very talented individuals right now. Look at this. Wow.
Let's see, pretty much a Boston Crab taken to new extremes. And old Slim J meets the mat face first. Mike Pittman in for one of many saves on that side. It's a good thing that back in the old days, referees would actually allow you only so many saves before the match would have ended in disqualification. Now, we don't do that anymore, certainly here at NWA Wildside.
Well, certainly with senior referee. That senior referee, by the way, I don't mind telling you, is not a very well-liked individual, both backstage and in front of the fans here.
You're not referring to Andrew Thomas, he said knowingly.
Well, Andrew Thomas certainly has, wait a minute, has been very vocal about the fact he's not afraid to let you know who his friends are, not afraid to show it in the ring as well.
No, interestingly, but he's not entirely on the page, to say, of the NWA League. He certainly, I mean, I've never seen any payoffs between the two. I wouldn't be surprised at hearing about any. As a matter of fact, I see a brand new pair of shoes on the feet of referee Andrew Thomas. Perhaps that was purchased from NWA Elite money, but that's another issue for another day. Oh dear! Slim J and Kid Cool, he'd head up in the ring, and both offensive maneuvers did not work. Slim J so close to the tagging hands of Mike Pittman. Can it happen? Yes, it does. And two freshmen involved. Pittman knocks down Kid Ecstasy. Kid Cool meets the mats as well. Woo! Sidewalk slam, but it ended up butt first on Kid Ecstasy. Attempted a clothesline, and Kid Cool meets the mat face first. And now it's Slim J and Mike Pittman double teaming on Kid Ecstasy. Okay, Kid Ecstasy, please meet the mat. Matt, Kid Ecstasy.
Wait a minute, hold on a minute.
Wait a second.
What the hell?
David Young and Terry Knight, who have no interest in this match whatsoever.
There is no reason for these two to be out there. There's no feuds between these six individuals.
Oh, come on now. The crowd is yelling child abuse. Funny line, but the point made. Terry Knight and David Young, a fairly new tag team here in Wildside, two ring veterans from way back when.
I never thought we'd see these two teams. Oh, come on. This is uncalled for. This is obviously doing nothing more but trying to send a message to the locker room that these two individuals don't care who, don't care where, don't care why. Dear Lord.
The spine buster from David Young on Kid Ecstasy. and that's spine buster. There's not a finer spine buster done anywhere in pro wrestling in the entire planet than David Young. However, there's not a David Young match, so who the hell knows why he's out here. Terry Knight now dropping Mike Pittman on his head.
What is the reason of this? Why do these two individuals, Terry Knight, David Young, want to come out and interrupt this match?
I don't understand. I mean, their beef is with Rick Michaels, and Rick Michaels is not involved in... Oh, wait a second.
Slim J.
Perhaps it's coming a little bit clear. I'm not quite sure. All these four athletes were, in fact, trained by Rick Michaels. So there's possibly a connection here, but I'm grasping for straws here, Jeremy. Help me out of this one.
I have no clue. Maybe we'll hear from him. Terry Knight and David Young have hit the ring, disrupted the match.
I'm not quite sure. Jeff Bailey has now walked out.
Get the trash out of the ring, guys. Go ahead and throw that garbage out of here. Shut up.
Well, I hate to say that Jeff Bailey has the answers, but I think right now he does. Hey, we need answers. I'm actually curious to hear from Jeff Bailey.
I'm still trying to figure out the questions here, but certainly.
I was going to come out here and introduce the four-time World Tag Team Champions, Bad Attitude, since Dan Wilson doesn't have a clue how to do it. But instead, I have found the perfect man to introduce the greatest team in National Wrestling Alliance history. He is the man with the style, former WCW announcer, David Penzer.
Whoa, come on!
Show him the respect he deserves.
Get out of here.
David Ovation.
Ridiculous.
I never liked that guy. I never liked him.
You never liked him.
I worked with this man for years with WCW, and he is a dirtbag.
This is ridiculous.
Why is he out there with these guys?
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, it is an honor to introduce to you the four-time NWA World Tag Team Champions, the master of the spine buster, David Young, and the new original chosen one, Terry Knight.
Oh, come on.
They are Bad Attitude.
Yeah, I thought they canceled his career when they canceled
and
Nitro.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the manager of champions, the agent attorney, Jeff Bailey.
Now, for crying out loud, he just announced them as Bad Attitude, or the new Bad Attitude.
I hope you were
difference.
paying attention to that, Dan Wilson, with your cheap goody shirt on. I want you to see a man with style and class in a tuxedo and a golden voice that people can not only understand, but respond to, because he is the greatest ring announcer, a man that should be your mentor, that you should idolize. And maybe, just maybe, he'll give you some tips later on how to improve yourself.
Are you kidding me?
Now, on to the four-time World Tag Team Champions, Bad Attitude.
But that's not them.
David Young, come here, David. Come over here and get on camera. This is a man that had to play wheelbarrow for a very long time and carry that bum, Rick Michaels, for almost 2 full years. But you know what, Rick Michaels, you are no longer a part of Bad Attitude. Not that you ever did anything anyway.
Are you kidding?
Terry Knight, David Young, they are the four-time World Tag Team Champions. And Rick Michaels, you have been erased from history, and you no longer exist. You have ceased to exist.
Oh, well, don't give me that crap.
What are you doing out here, parents? Why don't you come on in the ring again? I'll tell you what, come on in.
Uh-oh, the last time Bill Behrens got involved in this ring, he got a super kick from Jeff Bailey.
I hope he knows what he's doing. Barrett's walking into a very, very uneasy. Come on! Oh, come on! That's Bill Barrett!
Terry Knight has grabbed NWA Vice. Hold on! It's total destruction! It's total destruction! Rusty Riddle and
Ladies
Sean
and
Royal.
gentlemen, let me introduce. They're not here to wrestle this evening because they've been banned from the building. These are my bodyguards this evening. I hired them, so screw Steve Martin, they're in the building. Oh, and Bailey, screw you too. By the way, these are the NWA Wildside Tag Team Champions.
That they are. Won them in Kingsport, Tennessee.
Lovely little speech, Jeff G.
and you can decide you want to make Terry Knight, you're a talented athlete. David Young is an amazing athlete. This isn't bad attitude. They are not the 4-time World Tag Team Champions. David Young may be a 4-time champion, but Terry Knight, you're a national champion, you're a former U.S. champion, but you've never been a tag team champion. Rick Michaels is the other half of bad attitude, whether you like it or not. But look, if you decided to yank Rick Michaels out of the team, you and Mr. Wildside decided that Rick Michaels doesn't have that spot, well, you know what? Rick Michaels owns the bad attitude name just as much as David Young does.
That is true.
Yes, he does.
It's 50-50.
And on September 1st, because Rick Michaels no longer has a tag team partner, excuse me, he's going to need to get a replacement. And he can get anybody he wants, even if they don't work here.
Oh, hang on a minute.
And on the 1st, bad attitude, you're going to have to face Rick Michaels' bad attitude, and may the best team win. What do you think about that, Jeff G?
Bad attitude versus bad attitude. Are we going to see that happen here?
Well, we've seen a Midnight Express feud.
Let me tell you something,
bad
Bill
attitude
Burns.
feud.
We don't give a damn who Rick Michaels brings in here to be his partner, because David Young and Terry Knight are the 4-time World Tag Team Champions. And on September 1st, we're going to prove it by destroying Rick Michaels and whoever he wants to bring. And you can bring these idiots out here and call them whatever you want, bodyguards, I don't care. But this is the bottom line. Kingsport, Tennessee was Steve Martin's building. They have been banned from Steve Martin's building for 30 days, and 30 days has not passed. Therefore, that match never took place. They are not the tag team champions. Those belts will be returned to Blackout, the tag team champions. A team that everybody in this arena can be proud of. A team that represents professional wrestling at its finest. And Blackout are the tag team champions. And Total Destruction, you can get the hell out of my damn building right now, because you don't work here. You can go sit in your truck and get drunk all you want, but you do not work here.
Oh dear!